Hello everyone, and thanks for clicking on this video among thousands of others. Today I'm going to be sharing two amazing interfaces from SSL, the 2 Plus and the 12. Both have a strong set of features and each is a little different, so this video is going to explain all of that and help you decide what's best for you. We're going to start with inputs. The SSL 2 Plus, as the number says, 2, you only get 2 inputs, but these 2 inputs can be mic, line, or instrument. It's that cool combo jack. You can do whatever you want with them. And there's buttons on the front to help you toggle between like line or high Z instrument, whatever you want, super configurable. The SSL 12 has 4 inputs. These on the back can be mic or line, and then channels 1 and 2 have a DI input on the front. And if you plug in the DI on the front, you cannot use the mic line on the back. It's one or the other. But you could do 4 at a time. The one thing the SSL 12 has is the ADAT in, so that lets you add 8 more channels to this, letting it go up to 12. For outputs and headphones, the SSL 12 outputs 1 and 2 are like your main speaker outs. They can be 1/4 inch or RCA, and then 3 and 4 can only be those RCA plugs. You also have 2 headphone outs, and then there's a button on the front, I hope you can see it, that actually lets the headphones be the 3 and 4 mix instead of the 1 and 2 mix. So if you want to set up 2 independent headphone mixes, you can do that on this interface. And then as far as monitor control, there's no drivers, no software or anything with this. You just have the monitor mix knob. So you can turn it all the way to USB, and then whatever's coming down the USB from your computer, like the playback from your DAW or Logic, whatever you're using, that's what's going to play back. Or you can turn it over to input, and then that's going to be what's coming off your mic or DI, or you can blend it somewhere in the middle. So I like to use this when I'm doing kind of screen capture stuff with my computer, because I can easily choose to monitor between what's coming from my computer and what's coming from my mic without needing like another window, another program open. That's really helpful. The SSL 12 also has 4 outputs and they're all 1/4 inch. So I prefer that actually, because sometimes, you know, I've got 1 and 2 going to my main monitors, and then I can send 3 or 4 out to my little Zoom for capturing audio for whatever. It's a little more helpful to me just because I don't have those RCA adapters. Just be aware, TRS, RCA. This also has 2 headphone knobs, just like the SSL 2, with independent volumes. That's super helpful. The difference here that I actually prefer is the headphone jacks are on the front. Depending on how your setup is, this can be super clean that it all goes out the back. But if you need to plug and unplug headphones a lot and DIs, this one might be better just because the front panel. Other than that, they both have MIDI in and out, and they both connect via USB-C. This one, however, has a power button. Sure, that's helpful, but you know, if I unplug it, it's also going to turn it off, but it is kind of nice if you want to turn it on and off. Stuff to think about. Both have the legacy 4K mode, which honestly, it sounds really good to my ear. It adds a little bit of harmonic saturation plus like a high-end boost. Think like the air mode on the Focusrite plus like a little something extra. Both of them have the big, massive volume knob. That's one of my favorite things about this. It's such an intuitive control, especially for mixing. Just reach over, you got that big volume knob. It's awesome. As far as features, both units have the 48-volt power, phantom power. On the SSL 12, you get a light that shows you easily if phantom is on. You do not get that on the 2 Plus. The other thing that the SSL 12 has that the 2 Plus does not is the high pass button. And that's really nice. I love being able to high pass, kind of roll off before it hits the interface. It just keeps it cleaner on the way in. The SSL 2 Plus doesn't have that. It's a little smaller and stripped back. The SSL 12 also has a built-in Talkback and then 3 assignable buttons. And I didn't see a lot about like the assignments of these when I was purchasing it, and there's not a lot written about it. So once I got it paired with the software, you can actually go in and these can do whatever. So the cut thing, I think it mutes your mains. You can also make it a dim. Alt lets you toggle between a second set of monitors or whatever you want. The talk engages the talkback. Super flexible. I'll try to find a full list of parameters and put it down in the description so you know exactly what these can do. because like I said, there wasn't much about it when I was purchasing this. As far as sound quality, they sound identical. You're not getting a lesser unit by getting the SSL 2 Plus. They both sound great. So don't let that deter you. Don't think, oh, I need to spend and get the more expensive one because it'll sound better. They sound the same. This just is larger and has more features. But if it's just the sound quality you're after in a small format, I'd go with the 2 Plus. As far as drivers and setup go and getting it tied in with your computer, the SSL 2 Plus, you literally just plug it in and you start recording. That's it. It doesn't need any drivers. It's super simple. I really like that about it. You don't even need like a software to control it because you have this monitor mix right here, and then the stereo button makes both your channels behave in a stereo and it hard pans them. That's it, you're done. You got a button and a knob, and that's all you have as far as setup on this. I really like that sometimes because if I'm just getting into it, I want something super simple that I don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about. The SSL 12 goes with the SSL software. So they have a whole software suite that can also get you into like their mixing controllers and all of that. But you can super configure this. You can set up the headphones to monitor from your DAW or from the mics, and you can set different levels for everything, as you would expect from like a higher tier interface. So if that's your bread and butter, then this will be for you. But if you want simplicity, like plug and play, then I'd go SSL 2 Plus. As far as expandability, as I mentioned earlier, this does not have any. This is what you see is what you get. But on the SSL 12, you can bring in 8 more channels. So this one really sets you up for more expandability, growth, kind of a bigger studio setup. And this one kind of leans mobile because you just get the 2, but it's a little smaller and can fit in a bag better. Here's my favorite parts about each one. The SSL 2 Plus, it has less inputs, but it's got this combo mix knob. It's super simple. This one has more inputs, plus you get the dedicated high Z input on the front. That's really nice, especially, you've got preamps and mics like routed through your desk. Those go in the back. But if you're just gonna plug in a guitar, you do wanna plug it in the front. You don't wanna have to like slide this thing out and plug it in the back. So this is a little more efficient in my opinion in that area. With this one, if you plug an instrument in the front, it's automatically gonna recognize that that's an instrument and it's gonna do what it needs to do accordingly. And then that frees up an extra button, and so they gave you a high pass filter. That's a huge plus for this one because high pass filter. This one also has lights, so you can easily see if you have your high pass filter on or if you have phantom on, all of that good stuff. I like the SSL 2 because of its simplicity and plug and play behavior, and I like the SSL 12 because it's a little more customizable and dial in your own headphone mixes and stuff. Overall, I think the SSL 2 Plus is really good for like bedroom producers, if you work alone a lot and you don't need to record a lot of stuff, mobile setups. It's really small, portable, super high quality, and can fit anywhere. If you just record guitar at home, this is all you need. The SSL 12 is best for like a mixing room, a control room, if you have extra stuff you need to put into it. It's also better for working with others because say you both are recording like a vocal and a guitar, you can actually do that in separate channels. Plus you have the 2 headphone outs, so this really sets you up for working well with others. And it's good to have room for growth, so if all you need now is 4 channels, but you might want to start recording drums or more channels in the future, this will kind of future-proof you a little more because this one is already capped out when you get it. My verdict is definitely the SSL 12 for me personally. All that said, I'm doing larger projects and I need the I/O. If I didn't need the I/O, I would definitely just get the SSL 2 Plus because it's so simple, and I keep the SSL 2 Plus for any mobile work that I have to do just because it fits anywhere. Thanks so much for watching. If this video was helpful, be sure to leave a like and drop a comment. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions about these interfaces, and of course subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next video.